How's it hanging, fellers? Got some more TikTokers. Let's check them out.
The United States is about to break and nobody is willing to talk about it. If we as a country don't make a change here, we are cooked. The media doesn't give it the attention it deserves. Politicians won't say it out loud, but our country, it's drowning in over $36 trillion in debt. And here's the terrifying part. We're now spending more than $1 trillion a year just to pay the interest, not the debt itself, just the interest. It takes my breath away whenever I talk about it. Imagine you maxed out your credit card that you have, then took out more just to cover your monthly payments. That's what we're doing as a government and as a country. And when the bill comes due, it's you who's going to pay the price. Higher taxes, slash services, or worse, God forbid, a financial collapse that would make 2008 look like a hiccup. If we don't change course here, folks, if we don't stop printing money, overspending, and kicking this can down the road, your future, our future, won't be stable jobs and affordable homes. It'll be layoffs, rent that you can't afford, and retirement accounts that don't mean anything. Heck, some of you are saying right now, I'm already feeling the effects. They'll try to distract you with these headlines and drama, but this is the real threat we are facing, and nobody's coming to save us. I'm curious, what do you think about this in the comment section below? For more unapologetic and trustworthy news, hit that follow button. I appreciate you.
Yeah, I mean, we're passing out too much money to other countries. I mean, one in particular, right? Uh, and then all the, what is it, the experiments or like research or whatever, wasting money. There's a ton of money being wasted.
No evidence that any of it happened. Now, Riley's story has landed within a growing
Apparently, they are now labeling anyone who says that Trump is in the files and also guilty of this crime is part of Blue Anon. That's their new thing they're saying. A conspiracy group of leftists. That's what they're calling us. He is in those files thousands and thousands and thousands of times. We're literally just reading the files and showing people what's in the files, and they're trying to call us a conspiracy group. This is insane. People can read them for themselves. We're literally just showing people what's in the files and reading them. I didn't put his name in there. I believe victims. That makes me a conspiracy theorist today. MSN now can get up there with blatant fucking lies and can't even say what evidence they found that they were lying. They couldn't even state it. Apparently, there were all these contradictions and they can't even state it. I believe Sasha Riley's story because the more we dig into it, the more corroborating evidence we find, the more their story lines up over and over again, just more and more evidence, more and more survivor stories corroborating them. The mainstream narrative doesn't fucking line up. Are grasping at fucking straws at this point.
Yeah, it's crazy. People just won't get out of that left right divide. You know what I mean? Like they're so focused. I mean, if you talk about that crap, if you talk about Trump, like you just have to be a leftist, and it's the other way around too. And it's just people just need to come out. Just wake up.
Hearing all these people say, hey, this is just a distraction. Hey, they're just trying to distract us with another shiny ball. Well, what if they're not? What if they're trying to get a reaction instead of cause a distraction? I mean, think about it. If you would have told me 10 years ago, what do you think the world would look like if information came out about children? Like the information that's come out now. Do you think I would have said, oh, nothing will happen? We'll just all sit on our hands? Not a chance, man. I would have said that we would have reacted as a country. We haven't. We're not reacting. We're watching. Maybe it is all a distraction. I don't know, but I'm going bald over it. If you guys know what's going on, please drop it in my comments. I'd love to hear. Or at least what your thoughts are on it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they're mainly just trying to normalize that stuff. Like, I mean, with the movies, I mean, there's so many satanic movies, right? Like there's multiple satanic movies released a year, you know? And yeah, people are just what that one guy say, keep him your baldy, or I forgot his name. It's he's a little twerp. I anyways, keep him on was it drugs and video games or something like that? I forget, but the dude sucks.
We discovered soon after I entered office that with the specter of an atomic war looming like Armageddon, far nearer than it does today, the United States government actually did carry out on our citizens experiments involving radiation. Thousands of government-sponsored experiments did take place at hospitals, universities, and military bases around our nation. In one scientist injected plutonium into 18 patients without their knowledge. Informed consent means your doctor tells you the risk of the treatment you are about to undergo. In too many cases, informed consent was withheld. Americans were kept in the dark about the effects of what was being done to them. The deception extended beyond the test subjects themselves to encompass their families and the American people as a whole. For these experiments were kept secret, and they were shrouded not for a compelling reason of national security, but for the simple fear of embarrassment. And that was wrong. Informed consent, community right to know, our entire battery of essential human protections, all these grew up in response to the health and humanitarian crises of this 20th century. They are proof that we are equal to our challenges. Science is not ever simply objective. It emerges from the crucible of historical circumstances and personal experience. Let us remember, too, that cynicism about government has roots in historical circumstances. Because of stonewallings and evasions in the past, times when a family member or a neighbor suffered an injustice and had nowhere to turn and couldn't even get the facts, some Americans lost faith in the promise of our democracy. Government was very powerful, but very far away and not trusted to be ethical. The United States of America offers a sincere apology to those of our citizens who were subjected to these experiments, to their families, and to their communities.
United States of America.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure they're doing experiments on us all the time. At least like psychological experiments. I don't doubt the radiation thing. I mean, that would have been what, back in the 90s? So it's hard telling what all they've done.
That these powers, these Illuminati people behind the scenes are going to be successful at taking down the United States government.
Yes, I totally agree. Yes.
There are white hats operating, as you know, and as we know, because we have been interacting with those people from time to time. Do you think it's possible that these people can be stopped?
No, I do not. I categorically say no. I do not believe there is any reasonable evidence of anything of hope for America or for the world. That's my personal opinion. I think that the light at the end of the tunnel is a train coming. I do not believe America or the world at large is going to be able to extricate itself out of this situation. No, I do not believe it's possible. And the reason why is because the people are too stupid. They're too ill-informed, ignorant, unread, self-centered, egotistical, materialistic, and downright stupid. And they don't care. Every age and in every country, the people of every nation have always supported a dictator, and they always will.
That's crazy. I don't know exactly when this was recorded. I'm sure 20 plus years ago. I forgot this guy's name. But yeah, and it's even worse now, you know.
This 1544 map is so interesting. I found some really interesting wording on here and the drawings as well. This is what I do. I dive in the old maps, so let's go ahead and get at it. First things first, look at the very top right here, and you'll see where it shows a sun and a moon, or two suns. I don't know. You comment, let me know what you think of that one. Thought that was interesting. And this is a cosmic graphical map, by the way, and it has all the way around it, as you can see, there are the, whatever you want to call those things, creatures or whatever, blowing wind, and there are 12 of them all the way around. And we'll kind of go close up, but just so you can see it. And then another really cool, interesting thing is what I found in North America. So they called North America, I'm gonna butcher this as I try to pronounce it, but Baclarilium. Thought that was interesting. Let's see, anything else that we thought was really crazy. Yeah, we see the mermaid right there, and then below there some kind of giant looking thing. I don't know what the heck that is. And then yeah, let me show you the these creature being people, whatever. And as you get down further and go down, they get kind of more graphic, like skulls. Like look at that one there. And then we'll go over here, and you got that one there. And then there's some pterodactyl looking thing there. And then we'll go over to this guy. Yeah, he's still looking creepy. And then it gets better as you go up there, and then you can see all the constellations going along right up there too. Go ahead and scan it out a little bit, see if there's anything else we can see. And over here, those are actually the saints' names and the winds, as they had said this was. So those interesting drawings, that's all. And of course, right here you can see they have Tartaria showing up on every single map I see out here. And other than that, that's about it. I just thought it was a really cool, interesting map. Oh yeah, look at this. Almost forgot to show you. It does still show the cannibals here and the giants down in South America, which is on a lot of the maps as well. So I don't know, I thought the most interesting part of this whole map is what they used to call that area there. So I'm going to look that up and see what that is. Anyways, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and until next time.
These old maps are strange, ain't they? I don't know, our history, man. It'd be nice to really know, exactly. I mean, I think we're in the little season now. I think, I think Jesus reigned for 1,000 years. The saints reigned with him, and I think we're almost at the Great White Throne Judgment. But like, I don't know. It'd just be cool to know all of history,
Video of this guy talking about, they're using AI to decode ancient text. That's not even an old thing. AI is basically to summon the old ancient spirits. I'm reading a book by Thomas Horn. I just ordered 3 more books. This man blows my mind. But one of the books that I ordered is called Summoning the Beast. And Summoning the Beast is basically AI. They're using AI. Memory, spirit is basically a memory. Spirit is your memory. And y'all know how they say certain angels or demons live in the waters, right? This is my theory. Y'all know how they say the more we use AI, the more the water, the more we're basically destroying our planet because AI uses water, correct? So what if the more we use AI, the more we're feeding the beast? We're about to summon the beast. Like, I don't know, I think it's the Euphrates River. I don't know, it's certain rivers, they say when the waters dry up, the angels will be freed. All of this shit, higher divinity and AI. Like, y'all know how, I think it was Orlando Brown, and he was saying how you could be talking to a celebrity, but it's actually P. Diddy. Like, you get what I'm saying? It's just like they switch consciousness with people. Like, I was watching The 100, right? And y'all know that term, hosts of heaven? Like, in the Bible, right? Hosts of heaven, meaning, basically, these people they basically gave their bodies to these ancient, spirits to live in their bodies. Basically, the ancient spirits are living through your body, and you gave your vessel to them to live through. These beings want a human experience. Meanwhile, these spirits, it's just an old memory of somebody. You don't have a spirit. Your spirit is a fucking memory that is in a computer that can be summoned into any host. Basically, These people mastered how to be immortal. And that's where Neuralinks come in. Because if you have a Neuralink, hypothetically speaking, somebody can hardwire your brain and basically take it over. We don't know how the brain works. They do. Just my theory. Which makes, well, actually, I'm not done. Which makes sense on why they used to, like, basically offer up children. And children used to be kings. They were 12-year-olds reigning as kids. They weren't kids. They were 600-year-old memories inside of a child vessel. That's my theory.
Yeah, I don't know about all that. I don't even remember what all he said. I mean, there might have been a couple things I would agree with, but like yeah, like I forgot. Next clip.
Look what we have here, an 1889 map showing routes by steam and electric. So you're telling me that they crossed the Atlantic with electric. Check it out. They even showed the dates on it too. Look at this. How cool. This is the entire world showing all the different, here, check it out right there. Vapor and electric from 1889 all across the world. The majority of the United States did everything steam, but when you go down to some of these other areas, they had a lot of electric. What the heck was going on there? It is so cool. Look at the mixture here of electric and steam all the way around there. US is just decked out with a whole bunch of steam. But when you cross at the top, they're crossing with electric. It says cable transatlantic, which is interesting too. But then you can see everything here when they're doing everything by steam. And then let's go over to Europe and check everything out there. You have both electric and steam all throughout the Mediterranean. And of course, all throughout Europe too. You got steam and you have some electric, especially up towards Norway. And check it out. This is so cool. What a neat map. Oh, and by the way, check this out. 1889, and we still have Tartaria here. Thought that was kind of interesting too. And they have it over here as well. Let's see if we can find it over here. Where was it at? It was interesting. They had the sea. There it is right there. So you got Tartaria there as well. And again, look, there's a whole bunch of electric traveling here. And then a little bit of steam traveling as well. But it seems to be a little bit of both over in this areas. Just very interesting on all the areas back then you could travel. It would have been so cool. Just a really neat map. And then they do some areas here where they really deck it out so you can see how much travel they really had. And then they have all of the charts that show you everything about it, the services and where they can go. And then they even break it down to like the different countries, all the different flags of the different countries. And look at the American flag right there, and that was pretty wild. And then they even break down the key of what everything is. Like the blue is for electric, the red is for steam or vapors they called it. And then they got the capitals that are decked out in the smaller cities and the flags that mean whatever it is for the areas. I mean, this map is so detailed. And then here's another side showing the services. And then they show Americas here. Look how much steam travel they have there. No electric there, that's interesting. All steam in Americas. But you have a lot of electric travel here through Mexico. Really interesting. Anyways, I just wanted to share this with you. I thought it was such a cool map. I've never seen one like this. And wanted to show you all this. If you want a link to this map, hit me up in the comments. I'll shoot you a link over. Also, as always, thanks so much for watching and being a part of this. Thanks for following and always stay curious. Stay curious. Check this out. It's crazy. Until next time.
So like what would mainstream history, what would they say the electric was, and what do you think? Do you think it's like the steam, I'm sure, is like trains, right? Railroads, right? Is it electric like the airships or the underground. What do they say? They have like trains underground, right? Um, something like that. Uh, I don't know. What do you think? And what do you think the like mainstream history would say is the electric travel?
On his property, and he sees that like all his neighbors are throwing all kinds of crap into the hole, like old washing machines and all kinds of stuff. They're just using it as a dump, and so he starts doing the same thing. They're all just throwing stuff in the hole, and after a while he wonders, why does this not fill up? It's very strange. So he goes over there, and he's just he can't see the bottom, he can't hear an echo. And he's out there investigating with his dog, and he's looking, and he looks, and his dog won't come close. Like his dog is like, will not come near the hole. And he looks up, and birds are flying around it. Like nothing wants to come near this hole. So he wants to figure out how deep this thing goes. And he's a fisherman, so he puts fishing line down there, and he's got 5,000 feet, and he doesn't hit bottom. He does another spool. He's got 10,000 feet. He ties lifesavers on the bottom of it to put it down there to see if they'll come dissolved. Maybe it's a well. 20,000 feet, 50,000, till he hits about 16 miles of line down, and he doesn't hit the bottom with it. So he
16 miles
16
of line.
miles of line. So
16 or 60?
16.
Jeez.
And he notices that his radios are acting weird. When he's out there working, he's listening to his radio, and when his radio is near the hole, he's picking up these strange things. Like he's hearing old time music, which doesn't make sense. And then he tunes a little bit, and he catches a baseball game. He listens to that for a minute and realizes it's a game from 30 years ago. So something is affecting like time around the hole. So at this point, he calls into Art Bell at Coast to Coast. I don't know if you remember Art Bell on that show.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So he's telling Art the story about how weird this hole is. He talks about how one of his neighbors, his dog died, and he threw the dog down the hole. And the next day, he sees his dog running through the woods with his collar on, but he won't come. It's like he acts like he doesn't know him. Like the hole is doing weird stuff in the area. So he talks to Art Bell a little bit about it, and then Art is trying to get in touch with him and can't. And then finally does, and Mel Waters says, "I wish I'd never called you." He said, "So I talked to you," and he was out of town for that interview. He said, "I got back into town. I couldn't get on my property." He said there was heavy machinery there. There was military there. They wouldn't let me up. Some guy in plain clothes came down and said, "You can't come in here." I said, "Why? This is my property." He said, "There was a plane crash, so we have to investigate it. There's no evidence of the plane crash. There's no news." And Mel starts to get kind of upset. It's my property, my land. And then the guy in plain clothes says, "I'm not saying we will, but we could find a drug factory or something on this land. I'm just, saying that could happen if you want to press this." And Mel Waters said, "I'll go to the press." The guy's like, "Tell whoever you want. No one's going to believe you." And he gets run off his property. And you don't know if it's a hoax or not, but Art Bell talks to a news crew that goes to the property, and they find evidence of tractor tracks in the mud and evidence that there was a military presence there along with machinery. And it's still all blocked off. Mel is eventually contacted by some intelligence and offered a deal. $2 million, you leave the country, you never come back, and you lease us the property, sell us the property. You just never come back. So Mel goes overseas for a while. And this story on Art Bell is 10 years that he checks in. So Mel is overseas. He's in Australia. And it's something like his niece is graduating. So he wants to come back. He's not supposed to come back at all. But he decides to come back anyway. And he's taking a bus. He lands wherever, and he's taking a bus. And there's some type of issue where breaks out of the bus. There's a fight or something. The bus pulls over, and everyone gets off, but he's not allowed off. Like they're holding him back. They get everyone off. A couple of guys kind of grab him. He feels like a pinch, and then he blacks out. And he wakes up 12 days later, and he's in San Francisco in an alley. And He doesn't know what's happened for the last 12 days. And he tastes blood in his mouth. And he realizes his back teeth are missing. Like, it's a crazy story. And he's telling all this to Art. And Art helps him, like, find a place to stay. And he says, Art, I just got contacted from native tribe and the people who are called the Basque. I don't know if you know the Basque. It's a region between like France and Spain. It's a little area people call the Basque. It's a small community, but it's very unique. So a lot of Basques settled in Nevada in like the 19th century. So this native tribe is working with the Basque, and they call Mel, and they want him to come out because they found another hole. Story gets weirder from here. So he goes out to like consult with them about the hole. And that hole is different. Mel's hole was about 9 feet around, 9 feet wide with a stone retaining wall. This hole is 9 feet, but it's got this metal collar, and it's metal all the way down as far as the eye can see.
Yeah, I know that story. Like, there's a lot more to it than this. I believe this hole is real, I think. You know? But what do you think it is? Like, does it lead to Sheol or hell? I mean, does it lead to China? You know, it's interesting. I think there's probably, a number of these holes around. Maybe, I don't know. What do you think?
And I would never take my own life. Everything I'm about to tell you is real data that I've cited in sources down below. In 1992, George Bush's administration wrote out the food pyramid to schools all over the nation. I remember the food pyramid. I'm sure you remember the food pyramid. That was our blueprint for eating as children. And it was taught in schools across the entire nation. Here's the thing most people don't know. Researchers and scientists in the 1990s were already fighting against it. Walter Willett from Harvard publicly criticized it, warning people that following this food pyramid would lead to insane weight gain and it could cause mass depression and anxiety. At the exact same time, there were other private industries in the food realm that were lobbying the US government, saying this food pyramid made no sense. The original food pyramid was literally delayed because of how much pressure it was under. But regardless, it was still pushed into every single school in America. Gotta target the children young, right? Okay, so now here's where it gets interesting. In 1991, okay, so just 1 year before this, wouldn't you guess it, Pfizer started developing Zoloft. And in 1991, again, 1 year before this, it was approved by the FDA under the same administration. Zoloft was specifically designed to band-aid fix depression and anxiety. Now here's the numbers, because you can't argue against numbers. From 1990 to 2019, depression increased 59%. From 1990 to 2020, anxiety disorders increased 55%. Probably wondering, well, what about the obesity rates in the 1990s? Well, they were sitting at 11.5% of all Americans. Come to 2020, and it's 41.9% of all Americans? Let me make this simple for you. That's a 264% increase. And at the same exact time, Zoloft alone, not talking about Ozempic or anything else, just Zoloft has generated $30 billion. Now, it could not have generated that much money at the time with the depression and anxiety rates in the 90s. I'm not telling you what to think. All I'm doing is showing you data. That's what I do here on my channel. I presented the data and evidence. Now it's up to you to decide if this is all a big coincidence or is there a system here? If there is a system, we got to start a conversation.
That's wild. I know they say not to eat the 3 times a day, like to eat once a day, and then you definitely supposed to fast, and pray and fast. Science is talking about now how much fasting helps you. The Bible talks about it. So yeah, I wouldn't eat 3 times a day. Anyways, that's the last clip I got. I appreciate you watching. You guys are awesome. Thank you. God bless you and your families, and have an awesome day. Bye.